Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, or Ha, Kodash, Amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Aharawan Ban Yasharala of the Lions Den Camp, here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the Sensei Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Harab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den Camp of Yasharala, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. And today, I'll be coming out with a little lesson. Well, it's based on this article that I seen in my little news app that I be having. And it says, Putin warns of serious consequences if Western weapons strike Russia. It says Russian President Vladimir Putin warned Tuesday of serious consequences again if Russian countries allowed Ukraine to use their weapons to strike Russia. And of course, that's just a provocation of war from Babylon, America, as usual, trying to pretend like they don't want a war, but at the same time still stoking the flames of war. It's weird. It's like they're trying to play in a niche or trying to. It's ambiguous at best. But without further ado, let's continue. It says, speaking in Uzbekistan, Putin's comments came in response to calls within some NATO member states to allow Ukraine to hit targets inside of Russia. And it's just really trying to provoke Russia to move first, so they be like, "Oh yeah, it's a war," and you know how Esau do. He hits you, and then when you retaliate, he wanna act like he wasn't doing anything. But continuing, it says this constant escalation can lead to serious consequences, Putin said, and that's true. It says in Europe, especially in small countries, they should be aware of what they're playing with, he added. So there you go. He already knows what's going on, and they should be aware, because he's said it numerous times that if you force my hand, I'm gonna use my weapons. You gotta think right now, as far as nuclear capabilities, Russia is at the top. Russia is number one. But let's continue. It says the Russian leader said leaders should bear in mind the small territory and dense population of many European countries. And man, y'all need to be paying attention. If something was to happen, a lot of people gonna die. It is what it is. Well, let's continue. It says, and this factor, which they should keep in mind before they talk about striking deep into Russian territory, is a serious thing. He basically saying, hey, you might want to pay attention to what you got to lose before you start thinking you want to strike me and hit me. It says, he said that while Ukraine would carry out the strikes, the responsibility for them would lie with Western suppliers of the weapons. So he already know who's the provocator is, if that's a word. I'm gonna have to look that up. Or I should say, he already know who's the one that's provoking all of this stuff. He know. He says they want global conflict, he added. It says Putin also said that while he believed Western military instructors were already in Ukraine operating undercover as mercenaries, countries such as France sending them officially would be another escalation. And that's just true. It ain't nothing but an escalation and a provocation. It says it is whoever wrote this article. But anyways, it said it is another step towards a serious conflict in Europe, towards global conflict, he added. And it's going to be a global conflict, honestly. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get that after, I'm going to get it right now. This is Joel. Let me make sure. Sometimes it'll. Yep, Joel, chapter 2. Sound like chapter 3, verse 2. It says, I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So the Lord is saying he's going to gather all of these nations, and that's what's going to be that global conflict in the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's going to be the global conflict, i.e., the battle of Armageddon, the mountain of troops. So the Lord is going to gather all of those nations, all the brigandines of the earth, i.e., the armies or the military forces or powers of the earth. He's going to gather them into one place, and he's going to judge them there. He's going to plead with them because of what they've done to the children of Israel. But also to wipe them off the planet and get them out the way. Yeah, but let's continue. Let's go back to my original point. This is a short article, so But again, it said it is another step towards a serious conflict in Europe, towards global conflict. He said. It says Ukraine's top commander announced Monday that talks were being held with France on sending military instructors to the country. It says there are specialists there under the guise of mercenaries, Putin said, adding that this is nothing new. So you got to think Putin was once a member of the KGB. He was a soldier, so he know how it go. He know how they operate. He knows what is what. But let's continue. He said that they would be defeated by the Russian army and that we will do what we think is necessary, regardless of who is in the territory of Ukraine. See, and it's the wording that he is like, is what he's saying and how he's saying it that they're overlooking and not paying attention to. It's what's being said that's not being said. Just alone, he says, he said they will be defeated by the Russian army. And he says, and we will do what we think is necessary. How many times has Putin warned and or they say threatened to use nuclear power or nuclear armed weapons? Stop playing with people that's going to really mess you up. But Russia going to be that guard. He's the bear. Russia is the bear. Meaning enough. So that was just a little small article. This is I'm gonna go to Psalms chapter 10. I'm gonna read one verse and then I'm gonna end it. This is Psalms chapter 10, verse 5. It says, "His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them." And that's what's going on right now. These Babylonian Edomites, is puffing at these other nations. The other enemy, saying the enemy nations or supposed enemy nations. But see, Esau's ways are always grievous. He's always doing something, always causing some kind of problem, always doing something, grievousness, grieving other nations and people with all kind of stupid rules and regulations, causing problems in their land. But when it come down to him, he wants to be footloose and fancy free. But what Esau does not understand is the judgments of the Lord are far beyond out of his sight. See, he doesn't know that though he's doing all this provoking around the four corners of the earth and doing all this tomfoolery, the Lord got him in a trick bag. And the only one that's going to fall for the okie doke is Edom. Because Esau has this complex that he thinks he is the most high, that he's the ruler. And it's like, nah, it don't work like that. The Heavenly Father is the end all be all. He's the one that's in control of all of this. But and then again, Esau's going around here puffing at all these other nations. Look at what's going on over there with Taiwan and the Taiwanese Strait. That's Babylon America puffing at China. They sending war. They sending things to Ukraine. That's Babylon America puffing at Russia. Like, what you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing. It's like that ain't the right thing to do. When somebody done told you what they're gonna do, if you keep doing what you're doing, and then you gonna keep provoking them, you gonna keep doing it. That's why the fall of this place is gonna be great, and the downfall of Esau is gonna be a great downfall. And with that, shalom.